Welcome to another edition of the LL Basketball Roundtable. That's right, it's 70 degrees outside, but we're still hooping it, baby.
Yes.
We're still hooping it. It's still March Madness, and we are getting toward the end, and we'll be talking about that at some length with my colleagues. I'm Mike Rose, by the way, your humble host. And John Walk is the boys basketball writer for LNP, LancasterOnline.com. Jeff Reinhardt is the girls basketball writer for SAME. And the show is brought to you, as always, by Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology.
Thank you.
We're dwindling down to 3 boys teams, 0 girls teams still playing, but still a chance for a state championship or a state finals appearance. And we've seen a lot of things in the last few days. We're going to talk about some of those. Let's start with Jeffrey because he's in wrap-up mode.
I'm done. I'm in volleyball mode now.
All right. Well, we don't want to hear about volleyball right now.
That's it for LL League girls and Lancaster County girls basketball for the season. Believe it or not, the last 2 teams standing, LL was Mannheim Central. They lost on Sunday, and Mount Calvary Christian out of CCAC lost on Monday. So everybody is out. So here's what you missed. I'll just kind of rip through who made states. 8 teams got in locally. Here's how they did. 6A, Mannheim Township lost in the first round to Plymouth Whitemarsh, undefeated. They're up to 31-0. They're in the Elite 8, so not a bad loss for Township. Put up a good fight, made states. Good for the Streaks. 5A, 2 teams got in. LS, tough draw for the Pios. They had to go all the way out to South Fayette near Pittsburgh and take on the WPIAL champs. And they lose that game, one and done in states for LS, which triggered the end of Tony Fink's career. He had announced around midseason that this was it for him on the bench, and turned out to be their last game there. They made states. Good for Tony, taking his team that deep this winter. But Fink is now retired at LS. So LS out in the first round. Mannheim Central won a game. Barons beat Roxborough out of District 12 in the first round. It was like 64-22. Not a pretty game.
That's trouble generating offense.
Yeah, not pretty.
Couldn't get it going.
First PIAA victory in girls program history for the Barons. So good for that crew. Shared the Section 3 crown, went to the LLs, went to the district semis, finished 4th in the district, wins a state game. Barons, we had some weather issues over the weekend, so the Barons ended up playing on Sunday. That was different, being in a game on a Sunday.
Yeah, we all covered a game on Sunday.
Yeah, it was a little weird. So I was over.
A little strange.
I was over at Cumberland Valley, and Mannheim Central had a rematch against West York. It was weird seeing Central against West York in a state playoff game. Yeah. Central had just beat them 3 weeks ago in the district quarters. West York gets revenge. They won. They knock out the Barons in the second round of states. So that was it for the LLs. 4A, Lancaster Catholic played Lansdale Catholic last week. Lost that game down at Bonner Prendy. Lansdale Catholic impressed with them. They're still dancing. They're in the Elite 8. Lancaster Catholic wins the section, wins the league for the 16th time, goes to the district semifinals, goes to states, but a one and done, a 23-win season for the Crusaders. They're out. 3A, Pequea Valley got in. They played that River Valley team, the District 6 champ, the first year of varsity basketball, and River Valley beat them.
I have a feeling there's more to that story.
I think so. I really didn't delve into it much, but there had to be something there. Something's happening there. I didn't do enough homework on River Valley.
No, I wouldn't say that, but something's going on there.
So Braves, second time in 3 years that PV made states. Good for that crew with a ton coming back next season. 2A, Columbia, they got a win last week. They beat Penn Treaty down at Bonner Prendy. They played great. Columbia put up 70 points and just made everything. Shot the lights out, beat Penn Treaty, scored 70 for a PIAA win. Second round, tied out. Ran into the defending state champs, Mount Carmel. Mike, you were there, you saw the game.
I witnessed that.
Mount Carmel out-physicaled them, did they not?
Yeah, they played really physical man-to-man, and I was surprised that Columbia didn't react to it a little better than they did, but they hung around. I thought the third quarter or so they played really well and had a chance. But yeah, they played a really good team, and it's the state playoffs. That's how it is.
Yep, and Mount Carmel's the defending state champ with a couple of starters back, and they had been there before, and they slammed the door.
It's a wild atmosphere
It was pretty
actually
crazy.
with some extracurriculars outside the building after the game.
Is that what I heard going to my car?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of shouting from the buses and stuff.
Yeah, there was some stuff going on there. There was a very raucous atmosphere, which I always like. I like the raucous atmosphere, but for God's sake, let's not be fighting.
Exactly.
People. Anyway.
Tip of the cap to Columbia. Great season for the Tide. Just 3 losses. They lose to Catholic in the league semis. They lose to Linden Hall in the district final, and they lose to the defending state champs. Columbia's 3 losses this winter were by a combined 20 points.
And their best 2 players are sophomores.
And their best 2 players are sophomores, and they have another starter coming back in Gambler and a couple of bench kids who are going to be really good. So, and the Tide gets they got a state win, but they are now out. Single A, Linden Hall, the District 3 champ for the 4th time. They beat Belmont Charter in that first round game. Belmont was 1-4. Remember, we talked about that.
They're dancing.
Yeah,
Briefly, they danced.
Linden Hall beat them by 30. But the Lions are out. They lose in the second round to
Now
Bishop.
they're 1-5.
Yeah, yes they are. Bishop McCourt. They lose to Bishop McCourt. The Crushers, one of the better nicknames in the state. They lose that game. Bishop McCourt's really good. That's a tough draw. They were in the state finals in 2017. Traditionally strong program. So Linden Hall's out. Linden Hall joins the LL League in the fall. Girls basketball, they will be in Section 4 in December. Lastly, Mount Calvary. Glad I got to see this crew a couple of times here in the last week or two. Won the CCAC championship, won the District 3 championship for the first time, won a state playoff game, beat Shade, won 20 games, but they're out. They lose to Williamsburg on Monday night up in Lewistown at Mifflin County High. Williamsburg was really good. I was impressed with them, and they made everything. Put up 70, hit 8 threes, forced 20 turnovers. They were really good. But tip of the cap to Mount Calvary, Phil Ferrari and his crew. Fun team. They had 6 kids on the first day of practice in December. 6.
Wow.
6 kids. Ended up with 9. Played about 7. Won their league, won the district, won a state game. So well done, Chargers. Girls basketball, Lancaster Lebanon League Edition 2021-22 is in the books.
Wow, this gives me a brief opportunity to mention one of my favorite local sports facts.
Oh boy.
Which is that Linden Hall is B. Arthur's alma mater.
Boom.
With that, we transition to John for a similar recap to what the Rhines just provided on the boys' side.
All right, so about this time next week, we had 9 teams from Lancaster County plus LL League member Elko. So 10 teams that we were paying attention to going into the state playoffs. As we record this, we have 3 teams, all from Lancaster County. I realized this morning as I was kind of going over the 6 state playoff brackets, we're into the quarterfinals. That's 8 teams per bracket. That's 6 tournaments. That's 48 quarterfinal teams. Of those 48, 4 are from District 3. Of those 4, 3 are from Lancaster County, which we'll get to in a second. Let's go kind of, numbers-wise here. We'll start in 6A as far as first-round losers go, and then we'll kind of go beyond that. First-round losers, 6A. Hempfield gets in. They lose to Norristown 64-50. Norristown ends up losing the next game. So Hempfield, LL Coast Section champions in Section 1, reaches the league title game, falls in a thriller to Lampeter Strasburg. But I think they reached the district quarters and end up making states. Lampeter Strasburg, this has to be probably the surprise, easy surprise, most surprising, I should say, of all the teams. Undefeated, wins their first 28 games, Section 3 champion, league champion, they District 3 5A champion, first district championship since 2002. And then Mike, you're at this game, and they end up losing 62-39 to Penn Hills, who by the way is still alive. What happened in that one?
Penn Hills still playing. Shippensburg, which LS handled, I thought, pretty comfortably in the district final, is still playing.
Wow.
And Hershey and LS, who were 2 really, really good 5A teams who played that epic
That
game.
might have been the game of the year.
Yeah.
Without
I
knowing
think
the boys much.
They got eliminated. But anyway, this is really surprising to me. LS, this team, Penn Hills, played straight man-to-man in the first 5 minutes or so, and LS was doing its thing. Well, they weren't making threes, but getting to the rim and all that. His coach called time and went to this zone trap, and LS did not respond to that very well. Penn Hills had some length and some athleticism, but I was surprised to hear their coach say after the game, hey, I went to it because I didn't think we could guard them man to man. It's not like we feature this zone trap. We don't normally, but in this case, it was the entire difference in the game. It was really surprising to me.
Yeah, I was covering Lancaster Country Day, following you on Twitter as that's happening, and the Country Day fan, there's whispers in the stand, LS lost. What happened? And then they come up to me, what happened? I don't know, I'm not at the game.
I got a lot
I'm
of
here.
that. What happened?
And the only thing I could kind of surmise an answer in the sense that the league semifinal, Mannheim Central, if you recall, plays their best game of the year, still gives up 75 to LS, and the coach Fisher says afterwards, maybe the only thing we could do different after that game is we could grow a few inches across the board. So perhaps Penn Hills just had a few more inches.
And Charlie Fisher did say size on the perimeter would be the thing that would cause some problems. Now, Hershey had some size on the perimeter. And
Sure. But, hey, tip of the cap to Lampeter Strasburg. What a ride. What a year. 28-0, best 28-game start that will probably be like ever in the program history unless they somehow run the table and win a state title down the road. Probably their best season in, 20 years since they last won a district title. Best season overall, and it can
I would say it's got to be the
district
best
championship
season
for sure. 28-1 overall. Also in 5A, give a shout out to Elizabethtown. They make states. They were the third place team, I believe, out of Section 2. They've kind of been up and down with some injuries, staying healthy and whatnot. Anyway, they lose to Laurel Highlands 55-33. Laurel Highlands, by the way, is still playing. And also wanted to note in 5A, District 3 runner-up Shippensburg is the other District 3 team that is still alive. As we record this, they will be playing Tuesday night against Chester in Lancaster County at Mannheim Township.
That's where all the District 3s?
Yep.
No 6As?
Right.
No, that's it?
Yeah, Reading lost in for
Reading's out. Wow.
4A, Elko, give a shout out to them. They are the LL Section 4 champions. They made the league quarterfinals. They go to the 4A state first round and lose to Newman Goretti, who is still playing, by the way. No teams left in 4A out of District 3. That was a 74-42 loss. Teams going to the second round. Warwick, Columbia, Lancaster Country Day. They end up losing. Warwick, I was at this game, 6A, second round matchup out at Springford. This was Warwick's first time since 1986 that they were into the second round of the state playoffs. They start out ice cold, shooting 6 for 30 through the first 3 quarters, and then finally wake up. They come back from down 16 to tie it, go to overtime, and end up losing 60-58 to Northampton, the Concrete Kids, one of the better names across the state for sure. In a game that, looking back, I think if you play that back 10 times, Warwick probably wins 7, 8 maybe, if they come out and shoot a little bit better and learn from it a little bit. But hey, tip of the cap to Warwick. What a ride, what a season. Section 2 champions, league semifinals, District 3 6A runner-up. First time they made it to a district final since 1984. And first time since 1986 that they won a state playoff game. So tip of the cap to the Warriors, who, by the way, is like 2 starters plus freshman Caleb Johnson coming back. So they're going to be pretty good coming up.
Young guys really developed over the course. That's what you want in high school basketball. Develop in players, and you could see it with Warwick.
And you can see it in Columbia too, because they had a second round playoff game that they ended up going to playing Devin Prep. Devin Prep, a team that beat District 3 6A champ Reading, albeit a shorthanded Reading team earlier in the year. And Devin Prep comes out firing on all cylinders. They remind me a lot of LS in that they were quick and all 5 guys can score. They like to press and they like to just grab a rebound and go. So it was really difficult keeping stats in the first quarter because both teams were just up and down. And then, boom, they kind of just hit a wall. Columbia comes out, plays tight defense, holds them to 1 made shot in the second quarter, forces a bunch of turnovers.
10 at halftime.
And Devin Prep kind of lose their cool a little bit. They got whistled for a technical foul near the end of the second quarter. Kerry Glover goes to the line, hits 4 free throws, then hits a bank shot 3. And hey, Columbia's up 10 at halftime.
I saw the video.
And then Columbia's down 1 at the end of the third quarter and ended up losing close, 76-73. Game kind of got away from Columbia there in the fourth quarter, but they scored 11 in the final 13 points of the game, the final 30 seconds. So tip of the cap to Columbia, LL Section 5 champion, District 3 3A champion, first district championship since 1994, I believe, first state playoff win since 2015, first under Coach Kerry Glover. Go ahead.
I want to quickly mention, this is something that I love, and there were 2 examples of this that we're talking about here. When a guy who's a senior, who's been a good player for a long time, and in his last high school game, he goes out blazing.
30 points.
Kerry Glover
Career high.
and Tate Landis.
Yeah,
Both
of them.
Yeah.
went for 30 in their last high school game.
Wow.
And
God
Tate
love
was
you.
well
Well done, guys.
They were down double digits in the fourth quarter. Warwick was, and Tate Landis is launching threes
He
from
made
the
some
logo,
Steph Curry
basically.
length ones, yeah.
And
Wow.
we're just like, no. Okay, they're going. All right, just keep going shooting. Basically, that's what they did. And the coach said afterwards, like he just rolled his eyes at some of those shots that he was making.
I love that when the guy, let's empty all your bullets, and those guys both did that.
For sure.
Cool.
And so Columbia will lose 3 seniors in Kerry Glover, Robert Footman, who played well of a game, by the way, and then Javon Colazo, the 3 seniors. They had 6 juniors and sophomores, freshmen, Columbia did, play major minutes throughout that game. So they're going to have to take on a scoring load, but they're
going to
kind
have
of
to go
built
to work.
something.
They're going to have to play in the summer and
Sure.
stay together and all that, because those 3 seniors really were the core of it.
Yeah.
But they have the talent to keep going. Columbia has the
Gotcha.
talent to sustain.
Yeah, Columbia boys and girls, they gave their fans a heck of a winner.
Yeah.
Did they not?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, that
And that's great to see
lot of-
because
yeah.
those fans really respond to that.
amazing. I mean, I saw Columbia girls quite a bit, and I'm early, and I get there early, and Columbia is there already in the bleachers, all
They're
of them.
into it. They're into it, yeah.
That's a very, very unforgettable season for both of them. Would have been nice to see them maybe get to another round in states, but Columbia folks had an awesome winner.
LL League Section 5 team, Lancaster Country Day, wins the state playoff game, second time in 4 years, I believe, under Coach Schultz. And then they make it to the second round. Mike, you were at this one. 58-32 loss to Nativity, who is the District 11 champ. Worth noting here because Nativity plays Tuesday night against Mount Calvary Christian, who is the District 3 third place team. What did you make of that game?
It's going to be a very tough test for Mount Calvary.
All right.
I mean, they have a lot of size. They have a 6'6" kid who's been All-State twice already.
Whoa.
And they have a really good guard. I really think the guard is their best player. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but he was a key piece for them last year too. And they won the state championship last year. They're trying to win it 2 in a row. I think the St. John Newman Pottsville Nativity game it'll be a semifinal, but it will be probably in effect almost the final. But we shouldn't assume that our local kids are not going to have something to say about that.
So, as you guys watch this, check out the basketball page on Lancaster Online. Mike will be going to Reading Tuesday night to the Geigle Complex to cover Mount Calvary versus Nativity. I'll be going up to Mart's Hall to cover District 3 champion Linville Hill Christian, based in Paradise, by the way, in Lancaster County, right near my brother's house. They will be taking on District 4 champion St. John Newman. So we'll have coverage from that game. Finally, one other team. District 3 2A champion, Lancaster Mennonite.
They
They were
are.
a Section 5 runner-up, and man, have they gotten this much better in the postseason. They just keep finding guys. David Weaver steps up in the district championship game and hits his stride. Jaden Mast has really turned into a second scorer for them behind Camden Hurst. They ended up going to the second round. I don't have the final score here, but Mike, you were at that game on Sunday. Walk me through what happened with that one.
They got ahead early, and it looked like it was going to be pretty easy. I thought Mast really played well. I thought Weaver really played well. They're both getting better. Mast is a senior. Weaver's going to be back next year. He's 6'7" and wide.
Wow.
And he plays hard. I mean, there was a couple of times where, they stripped the ball away from him and fumbled. He's on the floor diving for it and fighting for it. He's getting better. Of course, you know about Hurst. He was first team All-State last year. So this team has gotten better as the year's gone on. And defensively, they were very good against a pretty athletic team on Saturday. So, I mean, I don't know enough about this team they're playing to know tomorrow to know for sure, but I would think they got a chance against Old Forge.
So Lancaster Mennonites into the state quarterfinals, 7th appearance in program history. I believe the second under Coach Seth Buckwalter. They will be taking on Old Forge, who, if you recall, this is a rematch of last year's state quarterfinal, which was
right.
held at Lancaster Mennonite.
That's right.
Goes to double overtime. Old Forge wins that one, 69-63. I went back, found my old scorebook from last season, just kind of looking down the numbers. Old Forge brings back one starter from that team. I still haven't had time to do my homework on them too much. But here they are winning another district championship and back into the state
They have 9
quarterfinals.
losses.
That game,
They have 9 losses. It's not like it's
that game will be up in Bethlehem at Liberty High School, so I'll be covering that one on Wednesday night.
the Blue
we
Devils.
got 3 teams from Lancaster County left. Again, 3 of 4 from District 3 still playing in the state
about
quarterfinals. 1A, Mount Calvary Christian and Linville Hill Christian as we record this. And then Wednesday night, Lancaster Mennonite and PIAA 2A state quarterfinals.
There you have it. Wow. Wow.
Good job on the boys'
Now, we're at the end of the year in the girls,
Yes.
as we've mentioned. So let's talk a little bit about some postseason honors that are worth
Sure.
Bringing up here.
Sure. I did my own little, handing out awards thing a couple of weeks back. You can find that online. But the coaches came out with their all-stars last week. I'm not going to zip through and give you every name of every kid, but I want to share who they picked as MVP and Coach of the Year in each section real quick. Section 1, these were kind of gimmies, no-brainers on these. MVP, Lily Sugar from Penn Manor. She was awesome. 18 points a game, put that team on her back. Won the section title for the first time since 1975, and went deep in districts. Good for them. Coach of the Year, no-brainer, Megan Collins from Penn Manor. Great job, Comets, this season. 12-1 in league play. They were great. Section 2, MVP, Jasmine Griffin from Ephrata. Went over 1,000 in that crazy playoff game that we saw.
Very good.
Amazing. She's really good.
And another year.
Has another year. She's really tough. Not surprised she won it, but Kyla Correa from Lebanon probably got some votes somewhere in there. It was probably pretty close.
That's right.
It was probably. I gave Griffin my MVP, and I gave Correa Rookie of the Year, just to kind of get them both in there. But Griffin was great. Coach of the Year, Jamie Walburn from Lebanon. Cedars were awesome. They were a great storyline this winter, winning the section, districts, the whole spiel. So good to see Lebanon back. 3 more years of Correa, yes, please.
Boom.
Can't wait for that. Section 3 MVP, Maddie Nyer from Manheim Central. Her second MVP in 3 years. She was the coach's MVP as a freshman 3 years ago. She ended up 1,300 plus points, almost 1,400.
Another kid who's big and athletic enough that
Yes.
she will probably be able to play at the next level pretty effectively.
She will be somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes, no doubt. And she added a little mean streak to her game, I thought, this season, and really crashed. I could still step back and hit a 3 in your mug. Fantastic player. Another year of Maddie Nyer. Cool. Coach of the Year, Tony Fink from LS. As mentioned, he is done now. He retired. He's going to go travel the world. He's living the dream. He's going to hop a boat to somewhere and see the world. He's a world traveler guy. So congrats to Tony. Really good season for LS. Sharing the section title, making a district ride and going to states. Good for that crew. Section 4 co-MVPs, Ashlyn Messinger from Northern Lebanon, Kaylee Eckhart from Elko. Messinger was the MVP last year in Section 4, so she goes back-to-back along with Miss Eckhart, who's going to Lev Val. Coach of the Year, Ashley Shea from Elko. She stepped down. She stepped down. She will be missed.
God love her.
Unbelievably in Myerstown, but she'll still be around. You'll still see plenty of Miss Shea in the hallways and in the gym. No doubt about that. Section 5, co-MVPs. I guess they couldn't pick Bree or Brooke Draghi, so they share the MVP honors. Bree ended up leading the league in scoring, 22 point whatever points a game, and she'll go into next season needing 27 points for 1,000. So she should get it right away, first weekend.
Yeah.
Bree in her junior year should get it. Bree and Brooke shared MVP. Coach of the Year in Section 5, Wee Sanchez, rookie, Anvil Cleona. They were in the race the whole winter. Faltered a smidge down the stretch, but had to play some really tough non-league games. Missed districts by that much. They were the last team out in 3A by like .008 or something crazy. So, and they were in a retool of sorts at Anvil, and they have a lot of youngsters coming back next year. So, Mr. Sanchez, Coach of the Year in Section 5. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed the girls as usual this winter. Good stuff.
When next we speak, we will be in the newly created week between the state semifinals and the final, which is a new PIAA thing this year. So maybe we can talk about a little bit about games that maybe don't necessarily involve our teams, but anyway, we are dwindling down to a precious few here.
We are.
It's been a real good season in hoops, and we've been happy to talk about it. We've enjoyed talking about it. We'll continue to do so. That has been the latest edition of the LL Basketball Roundtable, brought to you by Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. For Mike Gross, John Walk, Jeff Reinhardt, see you later.